This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopeliventTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Tretch in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
What's up? Hey, it is me tonight. And tonight is going to be a girls' night. So we're going to have a lot of fun. But something I have to tell you all. The views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Well, tonight we are back with another night of D.A.G. Yes, that history-making night. Distinguished Authors Guild. We celebrated authors from the past and the future. Man, was that a night to remember? And guess what? We keep it going. We're keeping it going. Tonight we have some more talented people on here. We have award-winning author Dr. Barbara Whitehead, who was did a compilation of the prayers of Black and Brown mothers, and that was in the faith religion category. We also have a very beautiful young lady, a nominee by the name of Natasha Buffaloe. The name of her book is Reflections of the Inner You, and that was in the inspiration category. We're going to bring them on, and they're going to talk about their books. They're going to talk about their journey. They're going to talk about their experience with Distinguished Authors Guild. But before we do that, we're going to bring on my girl, because it's going to be a girls' night.
Hey everyone.
Marcy.
This is going to be a great night tonight. I can just feel it.
Is. I told them all to stay home. We need to have a girls' night. So this is our night. Okay?
All right, I'm ready.
So we're gonna bring on our guests. We're gonna have so much fun, Marcy. I'm just elated. Like I'm still elated from these wonderful authors and their just the words that they put on paper. It's just so miraculous that they have so much talent, and they really need to be seen. And they really, really need to be out there because their books are touching people. I mean, think about our previous authors that have been on. Think about how, influential that they are, that they've been, that they are being, and just making such a huge impact.
Exactly. And, and just to hear how a lot of them have said they really weren't trying to write and have books, but how inspirational and motivational it's been. And you never know, you've gone through something, but then there are many others that go through a lot that like you've done, and you help them see that you've gone through and gotten to the other side, and so that can they. So it's so important to put your ideas and journals into writing, into books.
Yes, and that's what they've done. So let's bring on our authors. Let's bring on our guests. We're going to start with Dr. Barbara Whitehead. Welcome, Dr. Barbara.
Welcome. Hi.
Thank you.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Look, she looks like a queen. Look at that. She's in her own studio.
Okay.
with
All right.
all of
That's
her
nice.
accolades.
That's nice.
Thank you. Yes.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's bring on our next guest. Our next guest is Natasha Buffalo. Hey, Natasha.
Hi, Natasha.
Hello.
Hi, how are
Hello.
you?
How are you?
Look, you guys, I got a special heart for Natasha because she about to get my body right. She about to get me right. I want my old body back, and she gonna help me get it back.
That's right. I got you.
So I just want to start off with you, Dr. Barbara. I want to ask you what inspired you to write this book. This is an interesting title.
Yes, the prayers of Black and Brown mothers was a birthing from my heart, because as a mother, I began to see all of the things that we have to experience. Our life experience is different, and we have so many concerns and so many things that are unique to us as a body of people. And so I began to think about what can we do, and how do we collectively gather our influence and our power to have an impact on the things that we are experiencing. And so I began to think about that and to pray about it, and I realized that that is a powerful force that we have. Praying mothers are very influential. And so the book was born out of that desire to have an impact on the things that challenge us, from health disparities to mental health issues to concerns about how we conduct ourselves. And we have to be concerned about all of the mass incarcerations and the violence and all of these things. These are things that concern us, and consequently there are things that we pray about. And I thought, this is a good place for us to gather and be able to corporately come together and have an impact.
Oh, you know what? It's so true. Those prayers from my mom, my grandmother, they were very impactful, very much so. And so, that praying for my children and my family, I carried that on. So I know that book touches a lot of people, and we can all relate to that.
Yes.
What
Yes.
about you,
Exactly.
Natasha? I know there's a story behind your book.
Well, as far as why I wrote the book and how it came to be. So my book, I started, well, one, I did not plan on writing a book, which Marcella had just mentioned when earlier that some people didn't plan on writing a book. I was one of those people. I did not plan on writing a book. And the way it came was kind of weird, because I had a lady ask me what I wanted to do, and I didn't have an answer. And so when I went into prayer, I just asked a general question like, okay, Lord, what am I supposed to do? I'm lost. I don't know what I'm doing right now. And it didn't have anything to do with like career wise. I felt lost, like spiritually, mentally. I was just going through some things. And in my prayer, when I stopped praying and I just listened, all I kept hearing was write the book. And I'm thinking like, who said anything about a book? And so when I finally listened and I decided to write the book, I went back to some old notes from a couple years ago that I had started writing, and I kind of started brainstorming off of that, and then everything just started to flow. But the book helped me through like a lot of emotions and anxiety and depression. So there was like a lot of mental health issues that I was dealing with that I didn't know I was dealing with. Like I didn't know where it was coming from. And the book kind of helped me through that. So with, of course, prayer and reading the Bible and everything like that, I was able to, produce this book where it allows you to like work on yourself. Because a lot of times, like you could read something or somebody could give you advice, and if you're not in that mental space to accept that advice, you just keep, bumping your head. And so through the book, I was able to work through those things. So there's like, it's a journal. So you're able to like write down your thoughts and write down the things that you're going through. And, when you need that positivity, you can go to the book and grab it. But I'm still going through the book. I've gone through it like 4 times.
Okay.
Wow.
And
It's like
you
the
know what?
gift that keeps giving.
Wow.
I keep hearing everyone saying about prayer. And I want to touch with you first, Dr. Whitehead, Dr. Barbara. Um, which is better? Which one? Dr. Barbara, Dr. Whitehead? How do you want me to address you? It doesn't matter. Okay. And your book about prayers for Black and Brown mothers. A lot of times when you're going through, whether it's an illness, whether it's the loss of a loved one or something of that nature, you're going through and you're in the midst, when you're in the midst of a storm, sometimes you don't know what to say, what to pray. And this book, I have not read your book yet, but I will be getting it. It's so detrimental to so many of our mothers because, like you said, in our community, we are going through so much. And sometimes you can't go and talk to someone. And again, like I said, you don't know what to say or what to pray, who to talk to, who might be like, okay, you're going to be okay. Sometimes you have some mean people. Get over it. And you start going, then there's a mental thing going on with that because you're going through so much. And it's like, you know, like your brain is scrambled. So I commend both of you. I thank both of you for your books. I have not read yours either, Natasha. I will be getting one of your books as well. But for both of you, this is so important in our community to get out the experience and what you've gone through and how you've come through it, through the storm, when you went through your journey. I love it.
Right. Now, Dr. Barbara, you have other authors who wrote this book with you, correct?
That is correct. It's a compilation of prayers. It's a total of 9 authors, including myself. And we had prayer authors from across the age spectrum. And so we were able to gather a collection of praying mothers who were praying about various things from the children to there was a prayer for just other praying mothers, single mothers, people who are dealing with mental challenges in their family. You know, the health disparities that we have in our community. Praying for the unborn child. There's just a multitude of prayers that address the concerns that we have as mothers who are focused on the things that we are dealing with. And specifically to say, it doesn't mean that, you know, Black and brown mothers are the only ones that pray. Of course, that's not true. But the truth of the matter is that we have unique experiences and our concerns are not just like everyone else's. And so, you know, everyone doesn't have to pray about whether or not their children are going to make it through a traffic stop. And where do you put your hands on the steering wheel, or do you run? Do you stay? What do you do? You know, all of these things are challenges that we have to face as a community, and we have to address those things. So whatever we're concerned about will be what we pray about. And this became an opportunity for us to give voice and visibility for praying mothers who are very influential and often have not been given a platform to exert their influence.
Did you ever think it would be an award-winning book?
Well, no, I did not. And that was a very pleasant surprise, very pleasant, because it says to me that as a community, we have given value to the importance of prayer, and to have this book receive a literary recognition was really just something that just was so amazing. The experience at the gala was, oh my goodness, I did not have words. And I'm so thankful that we had this opportunity. Every time I speak with you, Gina, I say thank you. Thank you for the sacrifice. Thank you for having a platform to give honor for literary gifts. You know, we value so many things in our community, and sometimes those things like our literary gifts go unnoticed, you know. But I'm excited to know that you were willing to be used to create a platform for people to say, you know, we appreciate your contribution to society.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yes.
You guys have put so much effort and so much work into your books, into the words that you put on. I know what it's like to be an author. I know. And then with your book, Natasha, you have in your book where the readers can journal, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
yes,
Mm.
yes,
Yeah. So
yes.
tell us why you thought to put that in there. Why is that important?
Well, the reason I put it in there is because, well, I journal. I journal a lot, and a lot of times when I read something and I'm just reading it, I don't remember it necessarily, or I'm not putting in the work on something that I need to actually work through. So when it comes to like reflections of the inner you, it's basically doing the work. So the journaling side is questions. So I'm going to have a quote, or I'm going to have a scripture, or I'm going to have something positive, or something that's going to make you think about something that's either going on with you, but I'm going to ask you a question. And that question is going to make you do the work. Because a lot of times, if you can read a book, but then you don't apply, what you've read, and you're just reading. Well, that was my part, is where it was hard for me to apply some things. Somebody may give me advice. I may read something. I may see something, but I didn't actually put forth the effort to do the work to do it. So I felt like if I have the journal side, that's requiring you to do some work. It's going to make you think. I'm going to ask you a question about whatever it is on the one side. I'm going to ask you the question and say, okay, now that you've read that, now what are you going to do with that information? So it's kind of like when you have a vision. You have a vision, but if you never do anything with it, it's just a vision. So it's like you have to put in some kind of work. Almost like, faith without works is dead. So it's like you have that point, you read this side. Now, what are you going to do with that information? Right. So it's making you work through like either previous issues or who are you? Because my thing was I didn't really know who I was. And I was looking for validation for everybody else or everything else. And the book has helped me like finding out who I am, building up self-confidence. So every time I go through the book, and the reason I say it's like the gift that keeps on giving, because it's like you can go through it one whole time and you learn one thing about yourself new. Then you go through it again, you're gonna learn something else because now you're in another state. Now you're in another place. So as we go through life, we're always going through stuff. So it's like you don't have to just go through it once and then it never helps again. No, you can go through it a million times if you want to.
Right.
So because as you continue to grow and elevate, and if you go through something or a struggle hits you, things are unexpected. Like I had an issue with my job. It was an unexpected issue. I was like, okay, let me get my journal. I'm like, because now I'm back in this space. Like, what am I doing?
That's your therapy.
It is my therapy. Yeah. And there's no.
Well, let's read Greg's comment. It said, it takes a different type of person to be an author. You ladies are amazing. Congratulations on your achievements. Thank you, Mr. Gray.
You know what? It sounds like it's like a self-paced workshop, kind of like a counseling session where you can go through it, on your own and for self-reflection. And because sometimes people are a little hesitant to talk to others. But when you're faced with something on your own and you're sitting there by yourself and you're reading, you don't have, you can't have that excuse, well, I just didn't want to talk to Gina. Or I didn't want to talk to Natasha or something like that. It really makes you sit there, think, and you probably are more comfortable would be going through a book and journal. And journaling is good. I do journal.
Yeah.
It is good.
And that's exactly because there's no there's no dates on it. You can, and what I found is sometimes I go through it from beginning page to the end. That's the recommended at least the first time you go through it is start at the beginning and go all the way to the end. But then like after like the third time, sometimes I just open it. I'll just be like, okay, well, I need a word today. I need something. I just open it up, and that's going to be what I write about. Whatever the page is that I open it up to. So you can do it however you want to. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's your journey at the end of the day. It could take you all year to do it. It could take you 10 days to do it. It's really up to you.
Well, Tasha, I'm sitting here looking at you. You are so confident. You are beautiful. You went through some struggles though. before
did.
you got to that stage?
I
You
did.
care to share?
Um, well, yes, I did go through I did go through a couple struggles. One with the book, once I wrote it, I went through self-doubt. I didn't think that I can actually do it. I didn't think anybody needed it or wanted to hear me. I didn't really think my voice mattered. So even though I went through it, and wrote the book, I started to doubt myself, and I started to say, well, maybe I shouldn't come out with it. And the reason was because someone had said, well, you can't help others if you're still dealing with stuff. And so I started doubting myself, like I am still going through stuff. But then I kept hearing that voice of God saying, we're all going through something. You know, if you wait till you're not going through something, it'll never come out because things happen. And so that was the first thing, was the self-doubt. And that was going through the book. But then when I wanted to release the book, I had to go through the book myself because I felt lost. I didn't know who I was. I was struggling. And now my issues were, I had a lot, not all at the same time, but I dealt with depression. I dealt with anxiety. I dealt with low self-esteem. I was people pleasing, looking for validation. There was a lot. There was codependency, comparison, jealousy. Like I had a lot of different things that I was going through. And some of them, they do still creep up because they were habits that I had my whole life. I just didn't realize that that's what was happening. And so every now and then they do creep back up, and then I'm like, wait, okay, let's work through this. Let's recognize it, be aware of it. And the biggest thing is recognizing it and then accepting it and doing the work to, make it better, to do better. But like I said, I'm still in my journal. So there was definitely some struggles along the way, of coming out with the journal, but also just in life in general. And that's why I came out with it, is because we go through so many things. And a lot of times we don't know who to talk to, or we don't want to be judged by somebody. Or me, it was like embarrassment or shame and things like that. So you don't want to tell anybody that you're going through these things. Like I was in depression for a very long time, but nobody knew it. But some of my depression was because of weight. I had gained so much weight. And that's when my fitness journey came into play. But I had a lot of issues with like depression, but on the outside, nobody knew. I smiled every day. I looked like I was doing great. I looked perfect in the outer world. But inside, a lot of times we can be falling apart internally and nobody knows, or, suffering in silence.
That's
So,
remarkable, because you're right. A lot of times we don't know people are going through things and they have a smile on their face. They're going to work. They're doing the everyday things that we expect them to do. And we don't know that inside it's eating them up. So, wow, that journal touches on that. And that's something that a lot of people may need.
yeah. And there's affirmations in there too. So like those days where you really don't feel good about yourself, there's like a couple pages in the journal that are just affirmations, just to remind yourself of like who you are. Because sometimes when you're going through stuff, you forget who you are. You forget who God created you to be. Because I have had plenty of those days where I completely just lost it, didn't know who I was, what I was doing, why I was doing it. And, I couldn't see past my own pain, nor could I see anybody else's.
Yeah, we lose our identity when we're going through a lot. And then I'm going to go right back to Dr. Barbara's book, those prayers that avail much. Like you said, you're going through and you don't. And a lot of times when you're going through, you don't realize you're going through, because you have some people that are constantly moving and take care of other people and worrying about, I won't say worrying, but caring for other people, that you don't realize that you're going through something. And like both of you guys said, we look good on the outside, but on the inside, and we don't have time to think of our own mental health, emotional health, physical health, because we're constantly taking care of others, and we're literally falling apart. And so people will constantly put more on you, because this is the strong person and this is the one who can do everything. And that both of your books, I think, are so great and so needed in not just our community, but in communities everywhere.
Yeah,
Inspirational. Oh,
Inspirational.
definitely.
Dr. Barbara, what
So,
else are you doing?
Well, I'm also providing a life coaching service. It's called 3D Destiny Coaching. And that's from making destiny driven decisions. And so I really like what Natasha was talking about as she was talking about the journaling process and really sharing the self discovery mode. And that is I have three major phases in the coaching mentoring process, and the first one is self discovery. So we identify the things that we are passionate about, the strengths that we have, and also the challenges that we have, the passions that we have. And once we are able to do that and be able to make that assessment ourselves, not have someone else make it for you, but to make the assessment yourself, then we move into the next phase, which is called crushing self-limiting beliefs. And in that phase, we confront the limitations, we confront the erroneous beliefs that we have acquired over the process of time, the things that keep us from being our very best self, and we are able to identify, those things that have limited us so that we can deal with them specifically. And the third phase is establishing a personalized destiny plan so that we hold ourselves accountable to the things that we want to accomplish. And so the 3D Destiny Coaching Service is designed to mentor people into being their best selves and dealing with the limiting beliefs that we have had. I also have a book that is an accompaniment to the coaching process, and the title of the book is Making Destiny Driven Decisions. And so it's designed to challenge us so that we go to the next level in identifying what it is that we want to accomplish, how we will accomplish it, and then holding ourselves accountable. A lot of self-reflection and accountability in that process. And so that's one of the other things that I'm doing. I'm very proud of my Destiny students as they move through the process.
Wow, that's awesome.
For both of you, other than being an author, Natasha, for you also being into fitness, and Dr. Barbara, you with your life coaching, has there ever been anything else that you really wanted to do or thought that you would be doing other than what you're doing now?
One of the things that I am doing, you'll see behind me here, is the Kingdom Publications, and that was birthed out of the fact that this journey of writing the book and then publishing the book put me in a position so that I wanted to assist others. And the publishing company was born out of that. So Kingdom Publications is designed to assist others to publish their book, to see their dream manifest, and so that has been a very unique part of my process, because I did not see myself doing that until I got in the process and realized it was a possibility.
Wow. And Natasha?
Me, I always tried a whole bunch of different things. I think for me, it was just, I'm a creative, and I'm always like trying to see where my creative, I guess where I'm supposed to be creatively. So training, I was always a trainer when I was in like the corporate world. I just wasn't like a personal trainer, but I was a trainer. So I think that part of me, I've always wanted to encourage people to be their greatest self. I've always wanted to see people succeed and reach their goals. I love inspiring and being, an empowerment for other people. And so right now I'm working on putting together like a small group of, women that either have read the book or they're on this journey of self-loving and self-discovery and, really trying to hone in on their inner power. So right now I'm working on putting together a group, but that was a thought of mine a couple of years ago. And it's just now I'm like, okay, I need to get this moving. So I'm really working on that. Interesting that Dr. Barbara talked about life coaching, because I'm actually taking courses to be a life coach too.
Oh, okay.
So when she talked, I was like, yay.
So you're just a Jill of all trades.
Both of them.
But I've also made artwork. So I have art, and I'm not sure if I told you guys that story, but my journal, when I came out with my journal, the name of the journal is called Reflections of the Inner You. But 3 days before the release date of my journal, so my release date of my journal was 4/22/22, and 3 days before the journal came out, I found my fitness sheets where they take like your measurements at the gym. I found the sheets, and my fitness journey started on in April of 2017. So it was on same month for except it was just a different year. So it was 4/22/2017 was the day that I started my fitness journey. And then 3 weeks later, I realized that I had made an art piece. It was titled Reflections. And I actually created it. When I turned the art piece over, it was also 4/22, but it was 2018. So all three of them were on the same exact day, just different years. So yes, I'm always like in this creative space, like this art world. And now I do like different contents with like creating videos and different posts and making it real pretty. So I'm working through that too, and where that plays a part in everything. So I'm kind of just like, I'm all over the place, but all of it I feel like is in the whole creative world. It's just, I just love being creative. So
awesome.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Wow. Marcy, you had another question?
Have either one of you thought about doing a blog, or are you already doing a blog regarding your books that you're doing? Like, to do a blog to even help more people and reach more people. Because sometimes, some people don't like to read. I'm nerdy. I love to read. Some people don't like to read. And with social media being so prevalent now, have you thought about that?
I have not. I've thought about like maybe possibly doing some podcasts here and there. I haven't thought about the blog yet, just because I'm not really familiar with how the blogs and everything work.
Okay.
So I haven't really looked into that yet. But I do want to do like group sessions where we kind of discuss different topics on mental health, because a lot of these issues that we're having is like mental health issues. We just don't want to call it that. But the mental health and what that self journey and how we can help each other. Because I feel like when you feel like you have a community of people, it's easier for some people to talk through things like, I went through this, and this is what I did to overcome it. So it can help somebody else in the group that may be going through it. So I think having that small group session is more intimate, because I really want to do it in person, because I have a whole meditation room. And I want to bring people in and just have us be able to like meditate together and stretch together, because I feel like full wellness is mind, body, and soul. You got to have the spirit. You got to bring God in. You got to have a healthy body. Like, I just feel like incorporating all these different things is what Reflections looks like to me. And I just want to like bring everybody together and have these powwows where we help each other through our situations and our circumstances. And it's all based around the journal, but that doesn't mean we have to talk about, a specific, but yeah, I just like helping people. So that's
what you do it, Natasha.
Right. And so what you just said to me is like having retreats, women retreats.
Yeah. That's my goal.
Do it.
That's my goal. I mean, I've written it all out. Yes, like a year and a half ago, I've written it out, like who's going to be speaker. And I mean, I have everything, like all the different programs I want, the different, areas I want. So yeah, that's my goal.
Love it.
And Dr. Barbara, what about you?
Yes, I have thought about a blog, but I'm like Natasha. I don't know exactly how the blog thing really works. And so I've thought about it. I've kind of hit at it here and there, but not really been committed to that process. And also looking at podcasts as well, because I realized that we do have to try various platforms. We have visual learners, auditory learners. We have people who experience information in different ways. And so we do need to to explore the various platforms that will reach a diverse group of people and different types of learners who experience information in a different way. So yeah, I've thought about it, and I'm looking forward to exploring that and getting my feet on the ground, and so to speak, in all of those different places. I'm really looking at the podcast area now, and just finding ways to get the word out, because now there is a lot more being done on with the social media platforms for the visual and auditory release of information, and you know, different people. A lot of people don't necessarily like to sit down and read. They might read a little bit here and a little bit there, and then even in the social media world, you know, you have to have just a little clip here and a little clip there, because they don't want all of it at one time. So you just have to adjust to the needs of the people. And I think blogging, podcasting, you know, all of these various opportunities are ways that we can share the information.
Yeah, those snippets. I mean, there are a lot of things are snippets nowadays, like Dr. Barbara was saying. So I do put some stuff, like I'll put little things from my journal. I'll make a video of it, like a real quick 30-second video, or, you know, a minute video, and it'll have like some of the either quotes that are in the journal or some of the scriptures that are in the journal. And then, you know, so it's a visual for them, but it's actually from the journal. So I do send snippets, and then some people will call me like, oh my God, you know, they read that and they needed it. And then I go through a whole, like almost like a therapy session with them, you know, when they call because of something I posted from the journal. So yeah, those quick snippets are definitely, it's the in thing right now.
Yes, it is. Exactly. See? Marcy just dropped the nuggets for you guys. So we want to see some blogs.
What would you guys say to someone who's looking, like that's going through something and is looking to possibly write a book, but is fearful of writing it? How would you guys inspire them and motivate them to keep pushing?
I say do it scared. You know, just, you know, start putting the information out there, you know, as far as like writing it down, brainstorming what you want. And then, I mean, obviously prayer, you know, to get past that self-doubt and to get past that fear, and just know that you're not alone. Like, we all go through things, we all deal with things, and your story is needed. You know, you're the only person that can tell it the way that you can tell it. And there's probably a multitude of people that are going to be able to relate to you. Then that might be your purpose in life, is to be relatable to somebody, to bring your story out so that next person doesn't feel afraid. So I say do it afraid.
I like that phrase. Do it afraid.
Yeah, I like that. And I would say, don't worry about your spelling. A lot of people are just stumped because, like, you know, I don't write well. I don't spell well. I don't, you know, they have this fear of their grammatical skills not being up to par, and it's totally irrelevant. Just write it down. Whatever it is that you're feeling, what you're experiencing, write it down. Write it down as if you were the only person going to be able to read it, because then you're going to be comfortable and you're not worried about who's going to read it behind you. Just write it. And once you have birthed it on paper, then all of the destiny helpers that are assigned to assist you in your process will show up. Faith does that, but you've got to give faith something to work with. So write it down and have something that can be used, because you would be surprised as to how that the very fact that you have written it down, now someone else can come along and help you take that manuscript to the next level. So I agree with Natasha. You know, do it afraid. Don't be concerned about your spelling, your grammar, or any of those things. Just write every chance you get, and don't worry if it feel like it's not matching. If one thing is not matching with the other, just write it down. That's the first task. Write it down.
Yeah, we're hearing that from a lot of authors. You know, I was just journaling, or I was just writing down my thoughts, and you know, and next thing they know, they birthed a book. So that's the way to go. That is the way to go. What's next for you, Dr. Barbara?
Well, I'm currently, I have several things I'm doing. I'm working with I have a prayer line that I do every day, Monday through Friday. And that's called the Call on the Wall. And so there are a lot of people that are being grounded in their faith, and it's growing spiritually and developing in their journey. And then I have the other books that are coming out. I have a book that's coming out called After the Pain, Still Standing. And so this will also be a compilation book, and there is a gathering of authors who are preparing their testimony and their victory journey. And so we're excited about that. Excited that they will have the opportunity to step outside of their fears and to share their journey, because that is how we get empowered, by sharing what we have been through, so others can have the understanding. Listen, I can get through that. It happened. And so it gives us a connection that says, listen, it's possible. It's possible for me to do this. And I'm excited about that. So that's one of the things that I'm doing. We're going on this journey with continued publications. Also, now I am the CEO of Kingdom International TV, which is a channel on the BHC network. And we have a lot of new show owners that are coming on, and they are sharing their journey in a different way. Talk shows and documentaries and various other things that they're using to share their experience, so people can be empowered by it, and we can move on to our next level. So I get excited about all those things. So thank you for that.
You have a lot going on. What Ella asked for the number for the prayer line.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, do I just say it here or do I write it somewhere? Okay, so the prayer line number is 605
Hold on 1 minute.
472.
Let me get that for you. That's
Okay.
605
472 5310. And that is the call number. Now you will need an ID code as well. And the ID code is 582874. 582874. And so that intercessory time of prayer and training in the scripture, we are a community of believers, an army in agreement, and we pray the promises. So we invite everyone to join us. It's an open line. It's not just for women. We have women and men. So come on the line. And we are praying together collectively. We have intercessors and prayer warriors from all across this nation, representing various states. And we just come together declaring the word, because the word works. That's our declaration. The word is working. And we're excited to be a part of that whole process of partnering with heaven to see the will of the Father being done in the earth. And so thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share that.
And what is the time they can call in, or is that available 24/7?
It's 6:30 a.m. 6:30 a.m. We come on this conference line, and we are gathering together there at 6:30 a.m. Monday through Friday on this conference line.
And that's Eastern, right?
Eastern time?
Eastern time. Thank you. Yes, that's Eastern time.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. You're doing some good things. I mean, really reaching out in all types of directions. Natasha, what about you? I know you're doing a lot too. What's next for you?
Well, I'm still doing my training. So I have my personal training that I do that's regular every week. And that's either in person or via my app or online, virtual. So I have the training, of course, that's continual. That's my heart. The other thing is just starting the small group. So that's my next step, is starting the small group of, women that want to come together and discuss their self journey and any other issues that they may need help with or where they get stuck at. So that's like my main thing that I want to focus on now. And then just continuing on with the designs of like the content that I'm doing. I'm working on how I want to produce that into another stream of, helping other people that may need help with designs and content and things like that. So those are some other things that I'm working on. But the main thing is getting the group together. Like that's my my next step, because that's not in process yet. That's just something I am starting to work on to see how many people actually want to meet, whether it's Zoom or it's actually in person. So once I kind of get that poll of if people would be interested in this, then that will actually be birthed. So
Well, definitely keep us in the loop here.
I will.
Yes, yes. Is the fitness and personal training, I'm sorry, is that you're giving personal training to others, or you're just you're just something that you're doing yourself?
No, I'm a personal trainer. I'm a personal trainer. So I'm actually providing services for others, you know, to take on personal training. And that personal training includes nutritional guidance, since that's always going to play a part, you know, how we're eating, as well as the fitness and the physical aspect of it. We have to clean the inside of our bodies, make sure we're putting the right nutrients in. And then also the physical aspect, so that we can be completely healthy from the inside out. But also the mind, it starts with the mind. So a lot of times my clients always say they feel like I'm their therapist, because I always incorporate some type of life coaching into my training. So there's also the mindset shifting that I do with my clients. So my clients always get the mental and the mindset aspect of it, but they also get the physical, and then they get the nutritional side. So, and they also get the spiritual, because we can't help but talk about that.
She looks small on here, but I know she probably beat some people up, man.
I try to be nice. I try to be nice.
Oh Lord!
I gotta
I'm
challenge
ready
you a
for
little
you,
bit.
Natasha. I'm ready.
And you said you have
I
an
gotta
app?
challenge you.
You have an
Yes,
app?
I have an app. I have an app for if people are not either in Illinois. So if they want to do it from home, or they could be down the street from me and they may want to do it on their own. So what I do is I create a plan for them based off of what they have available to them. And so I actually create a customized plan for them to actually access through an app. They can go into their workouts, whatever day they choose to go into, and I just have them assigned to what they're going to do for that day. And then they can do it at their own pace. So they don't have to come in and schedule a certain specific time of day. They can just either go to a gym of their own choosing, since they're not in the same state as me, or they can do it from home if they're not somebody that wants to go to the gym. They just kind of tell me what equipment they have available to them, and I create the program based off of what they have.
Okay.
And so, and they still have accountability though, because the app is going to tell me if you didn't do your workout.
Oh,
So if you don't
no.
do it, then it's like, okay, what are you doing? And it might be a phone call, it might be a Zoom call. Okay, what happened? You know, so there's still accountability, even though it's an app. I still see everything you're doing. So
I told you
if they
she gonna
don't
beat
do
you
it,
up. She gonna beat you up.
She'll
if
be
they
beating
don't do it, I'm gonna
me
know.
up.
And yeah, and so and then if you're not eating right, because I'm going to require certain homework from you. So if you're not eating right, then I'm going to give you that guidance on what I want you to eat, how we can make some changes in your diet so that can so you can have the best results. So yeah, so whether you're doing it via app, virtual, online, I'm still going to be on you. So, but it's for your good.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I always look at personal trainers and their physique, and if they're healthy, and that gives me the buy-in. And when she told me that she does personal training, I'm like, I need you. I need you in my life.
And she's near. I just heard that.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So you ladies are doing some awesome things. You know, it's such a pleasure to have you on and share this with us and our viewers. I mean, you have such determination, and I see it, I hear it, I've read it in the books. I'm just so proud of the determination, and not only do you have the determination, but you're sharing it with others. A lot of times people have that in them, but they don't share it. You guys had the courage to come out and share your journeys, share your stories. So, you know, I just want to say, keep doing it. You're doing a great job.
Exactly. Yes.
Thank you.
May I ask, I'm sorry, who are your support systems?
Me? Okay, so my support is of course, my family, like my mother, my children, and then my friends and my coaches and other trainers that I am connected to. So the person that helped me lose when I was 60 pounds heavier, those are my support systems. So I have my coach who has been in the business for training for 30 years. So he's my mentor, my coach when it comes to like the fitness side. And then my friend that's also a trainer. And then I also have my girlfriends and, family. So I've had a lot of support along the way. A lot of people didn't understand like my fitness journal because I lost so much weight to them. So that was a struggle for a lot of people. Even my kids are like, please stop losing weight. So because they had never seen me this small. So for them, it was a big transition for them. So even though my kids were happy, it was hard for them too to see me small. So my support system has been mainly the people that are the closest to me, family, friends, and my coaches and trainers.
Great.
Yes,
Wow.
and my support system consists of family. My mom is a very very good support for me. I'm also supported by the group of prayer warriors that I'm affiliated with, and my spiritual mentors that assist me and pray for me and give guidance and I too share the journey that once you start in your process, a lot of times people will not understand you. They won't understand the steps in your process. So you have to surround yourself with people who will support you even if they don't understand what you're going through at the moment. And I often give reference to the fact that I am sure that John and Mary and all of those who stood at the foot of the cross with Jesus, they didn't understand that he had to be on the cross and that he went through that, but they were there. And that's what support is. Support are people who are still there. Even when it's hard, they're still there. And so there are some people that I rely on who are still there. And so I'm excited about having a support system that is durable. That's one of the things that means so much, is to have a durable support system. So I do have who do that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Where maybe we find your book, Dr. Barbara?
Well, I'm on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Walmart, all of those platforms. But you can also get my book from my website. I have two sites you can get it from. One is the 3D Destiny Coaching.org. I have all of my books on that website, 3D Destiny Coaching.org. I also have a landing page for the prayers of Black and Brown mothers, and it is at Dr. Barbara Whitehead mystrikingly.com. So it's long, but it's easy to remember. Dr. Barbara Whitehead mystrikingly.com. And so the book can be purchased directly from me on those websites as well. And if people don't have that or don't want to do that or have a challenge with that, they can call 478-733-1415. That's 478-733-1415, and I can get you the book that way as well. All of the products are available, and so I would love to share. You can. I do ask that you can go to my Facebook page at Barbara Whitehead, and there you will find a lot of the ministry as well as the products and ways to make that connection as well. So Barbara Whitehead, it's very simple. It's just my name, Facebook, and you'll find me there. And I have a YouTube page as well, and it is Barbara Whitehead. So yeah.
Okay. Find her everywhere, y'all.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Exactly.
What about you, Natasha? Where can we find your book?
So my book is available on Amazon. I just uploaded the ebook as well for those that want to download it. They also can get the ebook form. That's on Amazon. And then they can also get it from my website, which is insideoutfitbrand.com. And that's where I have the book, but I also have book packages. So I have like inspirational bracelets and inspirational pens and bookmarks that you can get with your book. I also have clothing. So I have inspirational clothing on that website as well. So that is insideoutfitbrand.com. And then for training, you can call me or text at 708-243-3000. And that's also if you want the book as well, like say you want to, purchase the book and you're local to me. So that's another way is calling that number. So those are the two ways that you can get my book, and if you have questions about training and nutrition as well.
Okay.
Awesome.
Wow.
Viewers, if you need that information, you can go back to the recorded version and get all the information to reach out to Dr. Barbara, reach out to Natasha to purchase the books. It'll be on there, Facebook,
Hey, Gina.
YouTube, and LinkedIn. Yes, ma'am.
They can also follow me on Instagram too, at Freedom with Faith, because actually on Instagram I have a link that'll take them directly to the book.
Okay.
So if they go to Instagram at Freedom with Faith and they click the link, the book is all on the website. Everything's on there. They can just click it and it'll take them to where to purchase.
Well, you guys have the resources. Once the show is over, you can go back and get this information.
Yes.
I just want to say great job. But before we leave here, we always go around and we want to leave the viewers with something positive. So, Natasha, what would you like to leave the viewers with?
I actually want to read something from the book for them.
Okay, go.
So it says, no matter who you are, no matter what you did, no matter where you've come from, you can always leave room for growth if you're willing to do the work.
Perfect. Dr. Barbara?
Yes, I just want to say that once you make up your mind that you're ready for your next level, just get moving. Just get started. You have to activate your own genesis. Once you decide that it is your beginning, then everything that you need to assist you to move forward will show up. So don't worry about whether or not you have all of the networking and all of the attachments and all of the resources. Just don't worry about that. Make the first step, and the next step will become right there for you, so you will know what to do next. So I encourage everyone, be responsible about the decisions that you make, because our destiny unfolds with our decisions. And as we understand that we are integrated beings, we are spirit, soul, and body, that we have to make decisions that will affect the totality of who we are. And that is in our believing, and in our knowing and in our doing. So I encourage everyone, just make that first step. And I promise you, everything you need will continue to show up as you continue to make steps.
There you go. Put one foot in front of the other. Marcy.
Remember that too. We just showed our age, didn't we? Okay, just really quick. Stop making excuses. Get out there. Do it.
Do it.
That's it.
All right. Man, we had girl power in here tonight. You ladies are so awesome. You guys support them. Purchase the books. Follow them on their media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Follow them. These authors put in a lot of hard work, and I'm telling you, it's paying off. It's well worth it. Keep pushing, keep doing what you're doing. You guys are doing an awesome job. Anytime you want to come back, we are here. We have this platform available to you. Once you come on Dope Living TV Live, you're family. So whatever you're doing, if you want us to push it out, just let us know. You're welcome to come back. I want to thank everyone. Tomorrow we have a great show as well. We are having our guests tomorrow, the stunt actors from Wakanda Forever. If you haven't seen it, you better get out there, man. It's awesome. So we're going to have them talk about their experience. And I know it got to be out of this world. I want to thank you all. We love you. We appreciate your support. We'll see you all tomorrow. We hope that you stay safe, and we love you. Thank you all.
Bye.
Au revoir. Gina, you did that.